You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rudrius for Black and White Sports 2. Let's talk about the New York Jets. Zach Wilson, Mike White. As we know, Mike White was on the job yesterday. He got out there, played the Bears, and he was just damn near flawless. He truly was. Now, I liked Mike White last year. I knew he threw 4 picks versus the Bills. I would have kept starting the guy. I truly would have. Unfortunately, I've suspected for a while now, and this is just my opinion, but it's not that hard to visually tell Zach Wilson is not going to work out. Okay? Not trying to crap on the kid, but when you just sit back, you look at eyeball test, and you look at my favorite stat when it comes to quarterbacks, accuracy, I feel like you have to start with accuracy and go from there. He didn't have the accuracy. I never quite understood the fascination with Zach Wilson to begin with for any of these teams. I truly didn't. BYU, COVID year, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It was kind of odd. Same kind of thing with Trey Lance and my 49ers. Didn't understand the fascination there. Thought it was a terrible decision to begin with. So, I didn't know if I was going to make this video, except I was listening to a lot of the quotes this morning, was watching Boomer and Gio out of New York this morning. And one of the things that was said, and I believe it was Elijah Moore, but I'm not exactly sure, and there has not been an article written about this one specific quote. And it was in a paragraph of things he was saying this morning. But he mentioned, you have no idea what we've been going through in this locker room or what we've been putting up with in this locker room. Something to that effect, Elijah Moore said. And it was in regards to Mike White and I guess Zach Wilson. So I don't know if some of these Jets players, particularly like on the offensive side, Elijah Moore, we know Elijah Moore's had a problem for a while. But it makes me wonder if Zach Wilson hadn't lost the locker room a while back. We're just now finding out about it, okay? And same kind of thing that's been, that reared its head, and I'm doing a video on this, but it's going to be my next video, reared its head yesterday with Denver and Russell Wilson. Because let's be real, the 2 worst quarterbacks in football this year, their last names have been Wilson, Zach and Russell. It's been bad. Let's get to this. We're going to talk a little bit about Mike White and some comments right here about the fact that, yeah, there's some bold things being said in this Jets locker room now. And it looks like Zach Wilson has lost the locker room. I mean, my God. I've got the New York Post. I got Outkick. White had just thrown 315 yards, 3 touchdowns in his first start this season in place of Zach Wilson. White made the Jets offense look fun, functional, threw the ball to a whopping 10 different teammates. This guy can play quarterback, folks. He made the easy look easy, Robert Saleh said. That is something Wilson, the would-be franchise quarterback, has struggled with all season. Wilson exited the locker room following this performance and found his wife, Mallory, waiting for him. As the two walked down the tunnel towards the players' parking lot, security guards congratulated him, gave him first fist bumps. They must have meant White, right? As he walked past the door, a few fans with their faces pushed up against the glass shouted for his selfie. He stopped and posed for a photo. White became a folk hero a year ago when he threw for 405 yards against the Bengals. He reclaimed that status Sunday with a win over the Bears. It is not every day that you hear a crowd chanting a quarterback's name at MetLife Stadium. Isn't that the truth? They shouted, screaming, "Mike White, Mike White." Quote, "It's always cool," White said. "I'm not going to sit here and give you some quarterback cliche that I'm not focusing on that, which there are times I'm not. But towards the end of the game, I think it would be a lot cooler if they didn't do it while we were still trying to snap the ball. But no, I'm not going to complain too much about that." It was a nearly spotless game by White, who found out that he was starting Tuesday when Saleh phoned him to let him know they were benching Wilson. And as we know, Wilson didn't exactly take responsibility when asked if he let the defense down. Last week during the press conference, of course, he answered no. And word has it that pissed a lot of guys in the locker room off. Look, quarterbacks and head coaches have to hold the losses. They do. They have to eat the losses whether they think it's their fault or not. White finished 22 of 28. 22 of 28. I mean, that's accuracy, folks. For 315 and 3 touchdowns. The Jets gained a season-high 466 yards a week after gaining only 103 versus the Patriots. My God. Outkick. Zach Wilson appears to have lost the Jets locker room. Although there is no way of knowing exactly how the players feel in New York, their public demeanor does not bode well for the former number 2 overall pick. First and foremost, Wilson has struggled all season. He has completed 55.6% of his passes with 5 interceptions to just 4 touchdowns. His QBR is 43.8, which is 25th worst in the NFL. I'm surprised it's that high. If that wasn't enough, Wilson had a very humbling moment earlier this week after the Jets lost to the Patriots, in which the second-year quarterback played terribly. He did not accept any responsibility that reportedly rubbed his teammates the wrong way. Wow. During the win, wide receiver Elijah Moore caught his first touchdown pass of the season. Moore, a second-round pick in 2021, expressed his frustration all year. Wilson simply didn't throw him the ball. Look, Elijah Moore, I'm not sure he could throw you the ball. I mean, there's want to and then can. And I don't know if the kid's got the skills to get through all of his progressions. I really don't. As a result, Moore asked to be traded earlier this year. The team denied his request, but head coach Robert Saleh acknowledged that he should be getting targeted more often. Unfortunately for Moore, that didn't change anything. He caught exactly 2 for 17 yards in weeks 6, 8, 9, and 11 combined. Yikes. Not ideal. Not at all. In the 31-10 win over the Justin Fields-less Bears, Moore caught 2 passes for 64 yards and found pay dirt for the first time in 2022. After the game, there was no belly aching from Moore or his Jets teammates. They actually rallied around their former forgotten pass catcher as he spoke to the media. That tells you right there all you need to know. I mean, the guy asked for a trade, and his teammates rallied around him right there. They thought the dude was in the right, in other words. Yeah, get out of here. Find a quarterback that can actually get you the ball. When asked about the game, Moore did not hold back. He said it was, quote, too much fun being part of an offense that was clicking. That's what happens when we play New York Jets football. That's the real New York Jets football. Meanwhile, other players stood near Moore while he said what he said and hyped him up. It sure seems like there's no coming back from this for Wilson. It sure seems like he's completely lost the locker room. How can the team then turn around and put him back in the starting lineup? I don't know how you can. I truly do not at this point. I mean, how do you have that defense? How do you see how Mike White has performed and turn around, hand the keys back to Zach Wilson? You're going to lose that team just like that. You're going to lose your special teams. You're going to lose your defense. And your wide receivers, the guys that want the ball, they were already out. They're certainly not coming back to that. I don't feel like this is a bold prediction. I think Zach Wilson's done with the Jets. And I don't know what his opportunities are going to be like after the fact. He feels like a backup that may not even stay in the league as a backup. I feel like at this point, Zach Wilson he's going to have to go to some kind of a quarterback guru situation, right? He's going to have to go, God, I hate to say it, but maybe be the third stringer on the Niners or on the practice squad with Shanahan. Going to have to, wherever Sean Payton ends up next year, go play a year or two as practice squad / third string. Maybe back up. I don't know how under a Sean Payton. Go get with an Andy Reid. Doug Peterson down there in that's got Trevor Lawrence now flashing. Led a very nice drive to beat the Ravens yesterday. Wilson has got to find a quarterback guru and soak up all he can if he's going to stay in the league. But my gut suspicion is Zach Wilson is out of the NFL in like 3 years. Just gone, you know. I'm kind of, you know, he's too small. He's not tall enough. He's not thick enough. I think he has trouble seeing the field, seeing his receivers, having clear passing lanes. And I'm not sure anybody builds an offense around this guy. I'm not sure he's got the skill set. I said when Trey Lance was taken, you got a lot of teams that saw Patrick Mahomes and they saw Josh Allen and they said, oh, this is the next wave of how quarterbacks are going to be, how the league is going to be ran with quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson's another one. So then you saw all of this, you know, let me draft, Jordan Love, Trey Lance, let me draft Zach Wilson. Let Kyler Murray is another one that people thought was going to make it, but let's be honest, Kyler Murray ain't looked great in the last year. And you've got to kind of wonder now. I think a lot of teams missed on a lot of quarterbacks because they did not realize that Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson were outliers. Outliers to the situation. And everybody will point to Mac Jones and be like, yeah, but he's looked terrible this year too. He looked great in the last game, and he's also trying to learn a completely new offense from a year ago. But he's accurate. Trevor Lawrence, accurate. You start from accuracy, go from there, see what you got. And these guys were, Zach Wilson wasn't accurate. If you don't have that, Josh Allen is an outlier, a guy that actually got better at accuracy. Most guys that are accurate were naturally accurate in a lot of ways once they got to the NFL. Mike White, he's pretty accurate. 22 for 28 is accurate. I don't know. It sounds to me like it's a wrap for Zach Wilson. I truly believe it. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you go over and check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. 25% off USA First. 25% off USA First. Go now.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.